Well, hi everyone, and welcome to Chair Yoga. Today we're going to just focus on sort of the basics. We bring ourselves to our yoga practice in order to feel the physicality of it, get some movement going, and the breath practice always helps us feel more connected to our bodies. We're going to do all of that good stuff. And kind of the overshadowing spiritual aspect, I guess, is the ongoing theme that I keep relying on, which is, trust the body to enlighten the soul. So that, when we make space in our body for new ideas, new understandings, new ways of being, then those new ways of being can be really embraced and a part of us, and they feel expansive and they feel transformational. So that's the idea. So let's begin with sitting nice and tall. I'm going to get right onto the chair so I can join you. We're going to do a couple strong breath practices through this whole class, but we'll start with what I've often referred to as three-part breathing or diaphragmatic. So it's an awareness and an expansion of the diaphragm. So I'll get to the chair so we can kind of all begin in the same place. My recommendation for the use of the block is between your thighs, right between your knees and thighs, and creating as best you can a right angle with your legs. So your heels and ankles are right below your knees. They're not pulling back and tucking under the chair, but they're right below your knees. Diaphragmatic breath is kind of the diaphragm is at the very base of the rib cage, and it is the muscle of the breath. It's the muscle of the respiratory system, the primary muscle of the respiratory system. So I'm going to encourage you to use your hands. You can just maybe just initially to really feel the breath moving in this three-part breath. It means 3 inhales. It takes like 3 strong draws of the breath in to really complete it. We're going to use 3 good inhales, and it starts low in the belly, and it's like you're blowing a balloon up. So it's pushing out. The low belly expands, and then you keep breathing in, and now you're in your diaphragm. So you're going to try to feel for expansion of the rib cage right at the base of the rib cage where your diaphragm is located. And finally it makes its way kind of up into the clavicle area at the very top of the sternum. So that's that long inhale that takes 3 steps to get there. You'll let it exhale any way you choose, but if you're looking for my recommendation, it's going to be blow it out like a candle. Use the breath coming out of your mouth as an exhalation and let it sit, just seep out like you were blowing out a candle, a gentle blowing and release. So let's begin. Inhale, low belly. Inhale some more at the diaphragm, and inhale some more as you make your way up. And exhale it out. You don't need to keep up with me. I just start my own practice and you'll find yours. So make your way through that 3-step process. Push the belly out, expand even more in the diaphragm. And then you'll feel a lift, maybe a lift of the sternum. You don't have to use your hands. It's just one way to sort of, give yourself a little coaching. Remember to exhale completely. Take your time. Few more breaths now. Just stay with it. I'm paying attention to the time. Three parts to draw in that full inhalation. Last time. Exhale it all the way out. And then let your breath find its own normal rhythm. Hold yourself very upright. Think good posture. Pull the belly in so you feel strong in your core to support this lift of the upper body. Press your feet to the floor so it feels like your whole body now is in an upright. It's just like this is mountain pose from a seated position. Palms facing up, that's our gesture of receiving. So we turn our hands up on our lap. Let's take a moment now that we've kind of really connected with a deep and expansive breath. Close your eyes and find what it is that brought you to yoga to do today. What is your intention? Let your breath be as it is. Unless you found a rhythm of breath that's very intentional, that's all for you to figure out. Hands are open to receive the benefits and the blessings of this practice today. Keep lifting through the crown of your head. So you start to feel the verticality of your spine as you notice, the sit bones is the bony prominence of your hips and the pelvic area. And you can lift up through the whole chest cavity, the whole rib cage. And then the crowning glory of that lifting and lengthening is felt at the top of the head, the very top of the head. See if you can find your breath moving in that direction, lifting you up. Inhale comes up through the body. It's an ascension, and the descension of the breath is the exhalation process. Keep your mouth soft. No tension in your jaw, no tension in the tongue. And see if that doesn't help you soften the whole face, because sometimes we hold a lot of tension in our face. The brow line is a place, the jaw for sure. So let's invite a softness about the whole face. Beautiful. All right, let's sync up our breath now. Inhale as palms come together up and overhead. Exhale as you bow into your heart. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, come all the way down with a big sweeping action. We'll do 2 more of those, coming up, back and down. Inhale is lifting up. Exhale is letting that descension kind of felt experience in the body. Extend your arm out, just reach out as far away from your body as you can without pulling yourself over. So you're keeping yourself squared away and just extending the arm. And then let's kind of stretch it across the body, just pin it in so you'll feel a stretch through the upper arm into your shoulder, that deltoid muscle there in the upper arm, pulling it in. So don't twist yourself, not yet. This one is just stretching right across your chest, stretching the arm. Hold it any way that feels good to you, feels like it's helping. Big breath in and out. That elbow is going to lift up and we're going to hold it with our other hand. So just framing your head. Now that hand that's reaching down behind your back there, it's just softly held. So release any tension there. If you found yourself with a fist back there or it feels real tight, soften that up. That hand is just relaxing down between your shoulder blades, perhaps. And then I just want you to do a little movement side to side. Your head being surrounded by your arms is going to really help the neck stay, really well protected. It's a way of managing the weight of the head. And then end up with your stretch towards your right side. And again, square your hips so you're not listing up. You feel like your pelvis is still very well situated, balanced right to left. And notice how your ears are tilting. Just notice that. And we're going to spring this loose. Bring your arms all the way out and away from each other in an expansion now. Palms face forward. You're stretching your hands apart. Your fingers are stretching apart. One more full breath. Balance out through your pelvis and bring palms together up and overhead. Let's take our inhale. Exhale, bow to the heart. Inhale up. Exhale all the way around. Other arm now is just going to reach out. Remember, don't pull yourself over. Keep yourself squared away on the chair, balanced in your pelvis. Extend. It's like just stretching your arm bone out of around that arm socket. You're kind of loosening that up, lengthening. And then we're just going to do the same thing that we did over on the other side. Keep your shoulders squared. Feel that stretch in the upper arm, shoulder. Just feel it where you feel it. Just giving you some ideas of what we're trying to accomplish here. Deeper breaths. So for sure, you've given yourself at least a couple good exhalations. That's it. That elbow comes up high. We grab hold of it with our hand, and then there's a softness about that hand that's draping down between your shoulder blades. Try not to tuck your head in here. Hold your head up tall. Don't duck your head so that that's how you can figure out. Move your arms if that feels like that's what you must do. If the ducking just seems its natural way, then move your arms so that you don't have to do the ducking. You're able to keep your head up nice and tall. And then we're just going to start adding a little bit of movement side to side. Feel your feet to the floor now. Press your feet to the floor so you've got a lot of stability. So you don't have to just rely on your pelvis. Your legs are helping too. And then we're going to lean over, just a nice side stretch as we lean the other way now toward your left. Notice how you're managing the weight of your head. You're just noticing how you're holding your head so your neck feels safe. Press your feet to the floor, balance through your pelvis, right to left to right. Feels balanced to you. Let's deepen the breath. Be very tempting, very easily. I could understand that all of a sudden your breath has gotten real shallow. You're right in the throat and chest area. Let's get deeper now into the belly. And we're going to spring those arms loose, tilting the head, and see if you can create a diagonal line. It feels like it is to you. We don't have mirrors. So it feels like that to you, that you've got a diagonal line with your arms. And you feel a side bend. Remember to exhale completely. And when you come back up, both palms will come together. Look up. Inhale with me. Exhale, bow to your heart. Now let's pause there. I want you to sit up real tall. Spine is very tall, long spine, except for that we've tilted the head. So that part of the spine is giving the back of your neck a stretch. Press your palms together. It feels very strong and intentional about the way you're holding your hands and how your elbows are pulling away from each other. Let's get strong with the belly here. Excellent. We're on to our inhale now as we lift those palms up, and exhale with a big sweeping action all the way around. Let's pull back with the arms into our cow pose. So chest is forward, arch of the back body is felt. Keep your hands right alongside the frame of the chair. Try not to lift your head up. We want to lift up like that and let our chin pull us up. But I want you to keep a parallel position with your chin so that it's nice and neutral there. We're breathing in and out for the time being so we can feel this and kind of pattern the body about what this is going to feel like for us today. Familiar pose, I know, but today, how's it feel? And when you come into the other part, when we come into our cat pose, I want you to grab hold of your kneecaps. Just hold on with your hands, your fingers, right? Hold on. And so you're steadying that. So as you pull your belly back, I'm trying to find ways that we keep from pulling ourselves forward, because that's how we create the roundness of our back. I want you to get real strong with the arms. So there's no bend in the elbow really. And you're tucking your chin down and finding the roundness of your back from that point of view. Pull back the midsection of your back. So you're trying to pull that, create a dome shape right in the center of your back as you tuck your chin down towards your throat. So that's how cat is going to look today. So let's find that as a vinyasa. Inhale, arms just slide right past the chair into our arched back of the cow, and then grab your knees as you move into the cat position. So give it a try. See if that serves you well, to use that connection of hands to kneecaps so we can really keep our shoulders stacked right above our hips, and we encourage more movement in the spine. So the spine includes your neck. So remember to just notice that you're changing the position of how you're holding your head up and how your neck has to move to accomplish that. So that is included obviously in the spine. So just be aware of it, that you're moving in a way that's very intentional, mindful about the whole length of your spine. It's done as a vinyasa. That means you're connecting breath to movement, and we are all well practiced, so we can do it the way it is intended. Inhale as you come into the cow pose, that's the extension, and exhale as you are rounding your back into the cat. Couple more. I made a note for myself as I'm, figuring out my class intention today and the kind of plan I have for us all to be sure we've included all the joints. I want to be sure we're warming up all the joints. So we've got the spine covered. Beautiful. Let's come back up. Very well done. Bring palms together up and overhead. Look up. Exhale, bow to your heart. Inhale all the way up. And when we come down, I want you to open and close your hands. So we're into the joints of the fingers and the hands. And then as you start introducing some more movement, maybe you can start circling your hands. All kinds of movement here. Let's include the wrists, the joints of the fingers. Go super slow. Keep moving. Maybe you change the direction of the circular movement for your wrists. Lots of movement, all the joints of the hand, including the wrist. Get real creative. You want to find a lot of movement. And isn't it interesting how you can feel worn out by that? Such a simple, tiny little movement, but it feels like, okay, this kind of gets me worn out. I'm using this in a way that I don't often use it. Notice how long it's taken me to get my arms down. So I'm taking my time so I get a lot of movement through those joints. Great. And then let's just relax those arms right alongside the frame of the chair. Let's turn our hands so the palms face forward. Now this is kind of the traditional mountain pose that I like to teach. Pull the belly in, chest is lifted. Arms are very close to the side body, which steers your shoulder blades back to where they're supposed to be. Press your feet. I want to use the image. I'll introduce it now, and we might borrow it again as we move into some more balancing poses. That can you imagine? And I'll just ask you to close your eyes because our imagination seems to spark a little bit more interesting information for us when we can close our eyes and really focus on that. So, can you imagine that Mother Earth, and Mother Earth has a name in the yogic tradition, other traditions use it too, Gaia. So can you imagine that Gaia is reaching up, palms are kind of touching and holding the soles of your feet. So you're steady and held in this place, connected to the earth. You've got the help of Gaia. Full breath in, full breath out. Beautiful. Let's take that block and tuck it underneath the chair and take a little wider stance with our feet, heels in and toes out. We're going to move into the perineum in a minute, so we're setting ourselves up. So for now, let's just circle around. Feel that loosening up around the pelvic bowl. Keeping your spine long, and your head and spine are moving, together. There's no lassoing effect. You're kind of nice and steady as you move in this circular direction. Now change the direction at least once. You decide when that is, but do change the direction at least once. You might do it more than that. And then I'm starting to turn, but you don't need to do a thing. Continue to circle around. I just want you all to have a side view if you need it. As we move now into this diagonal position. So bring your chest forward, get your elbows real close to your side body. Let your hands press into your legs, press into the thighs here, up right above your knees. And you're in a diagonal line. So your body weight is shifted in towards your thighs. And now it's when we begin to work the perineum. As you inhale, it feels like you're lifting your pelvic floor up off that chair. Hold it as long as you can. Release it back as you exhale, and then just do it some more. So we're going to inhale, lift and hold, which is tightening and strengthening the pelvic floor. You hold it as long as you can. You release it as you exhale and come back for more. And keeping yourself in a diagonal line makes it more bang for your buck is the best way I can describe it, because we're asking our inner thighs, and the core of our pelvic floor to do a little more work by the way we're holding our body. Introduce the O-shaped mouth if you like to do that. It's one I use quite often. You just create an O shape of your mouth as you're doing your inhale process. It is a posture of the mouth that is soothing and compatible to the vagal tone, which is refers to the vagus nerve. Let the exhale be as it is, holding your mouth however you want to. And feel how your feet are pressing to help you lift your pelvic floor up off of the chair. Stay with it. Keep your body in that diagonal line. Last time, lift and hold. Hold it as best you can. Let your breath be both in and out as you hold. And just extend your arms in front of you, palms facing each other. And then reach, reach, reach. Reach, reach, reach out in front of you and then bring it on back. Let's see if we can do some movement like that where you're just stretching forward, forward, forward. Arms stay kind of parallel to each other and actually are parallel to the floor. Use your strength of your legs. You're going to use the strength of the legs for this a lot. So it's not all about the low back. This is intended to strengthen and stabilize the low back. If you're not feeling it that way, I would suggest you either discontinue it or modify it so that you're feeling strength and not any strain in the low back. Last time, we're going to fold forward now. We start reaching out and now fold forward. Allow yourself to just cave on down so your head is down and you're looking between your legs. You're looking under the chair. Hands to the floor if you can, hands to your feet if that's better. But let's touch our hands somewhere so they're not just floating in the air. Eyes should be wide open here. Find your deeper breath and notice where that breath is felt. When you're trying to breathe deeper while you're folding forward, where do you feel that in your body? I'll bet the belly is a big source of experience right now, right? That is belly kind of breathing. Deepen those breaths. Surrender the weight of your head. Relax your shoulders as much as you're able. Continue to surrender the weight of your head. Eyes stay open to help you keep your bearings, help you to relax. This is intended to be a relaxed pose. You're just surrendering to gravity's pull. One more breath like that. Jump your hands to your thighs one at a time. Squeeze your elbows into your waist. Come up halfway to a diagonal line. Strength of your legs. Push your feet to the floor. Let's extend our arms away from us like wings would be. Palms are facing down. Fingers are reaching behind you as much as you are able. Press your feet. Strong legs, strong legs. Diagonal line of the spine. Neck, head, and spine are in alignment, so there's no tension in the neck. No tension in the neck. Deepen your breath. Inhale all the way up, just reach up. Leave your legs in this wider angle if that's comfortable for you. If it's better for you to bring them more in line with your hips, you can do that. Either way is going to work well. So put your legs in a position that feels strong and supportive for you. Inhale up, exhale into the W shape of our arms. So inhaling up. Can you now, some other joints in effect? We've got shoulder movement, so we're working the joints in the shoulder and then our elbows as well. Shoulder blades, can you feel the movement there? Let's get real strong with the belly wall. Let's connect breath to movement. Inhale lifts us up. Exhale is the W shape, bent elbow. So find that rhythm. Inhale, straight arms lifting up. Exhale, bent elbows, kind of a W shape. It's a back bend opportunity. Last time. And let's come back to neutral. Everybody now bring your legs together like a mermaid leg. So you're kind of gluing your legs together, feet together, ankles together. Bring yourself into the center of the chair that you feel balanced in your pelvis. Inhale up. Bring palms together into the prayer position, and we'll bring that prayer position right to the heart. Now, folding, I'm going to turn to my side. You can just wait for me here. We're going to fold forward to do a twist. So come forward, 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 and then your elbow can kind of latch onto the outside of your knee and thigh. Stack your elbows right on top of each other. Palms are pressing in. The ear is facing the floor or facing the feet, maybe. Squeeze those legs together, pulling yourself forward. You want your shoulders to be pulling and lengthening through the trunk of your body as you twist. One more full breath. Now, see if you can spring your hands loose. I don't like the one that's reaching to the floor feels a little wonky to me, but see what you can do. Press that arm into the outside of your thigh, raise the other arm up. It's not perfect, but it's a great extension. You can really feel expansion in your body here. And the twist is beautiful. The twist at the waistline. Let's come out of that. Gently bring yourself out. Unwind from the twist. Again, I'm turning. You don't need to do a thing. Let's just take a pause. Legs are in that mermaid leg position. If there's any movement in the body we need to do, reset your body. And let's go the other way now. Inhale up, palms come together. Exhale as we bring our hands to the prayer position. Now folding forward, and we're going to go the other way. So other arm is latching onto the outside of the thigh. And you're just going to notice how when you put pressure into your palms and palm together, you put some pressure. It gives you leverage. It allows you to pull back the shoulders and get you into this twist a little bit stronger, a little more intentional about the way you're holding your body. Let's deepen the breath. See what you can soften. I bet your body is telling you where there's tension that you don't need. So pay attention to the cues your body's giving you. Let's let go of the tension we really don't need. And then if you choose, you can spring that loose. So let the arms just extend away from each other, lengthen out. Turning your head in such a way that your ear is kind of facing your knees or your feet. One more full breath. And let's unwind from that and come back to a neutral position. So when we come back to neutral, we'll open our feet as wide as our hips. So we're into more of a basic mountain pose. Palms alongside the frame of the chair, palms face forward here. Lift up the chest. Good. Let's bring our hands to our shoulders now. So we kind of created our wings, and we're going to be turning side to side. You can either turn, let your head go with it. So when you turn to the left, your head's going in that direction. That's one way to do it. I don't do it that way because I feel dizzy, off-centered with that. So I always keep my head still and the arms still do the moving. So you can do it however it works best for you. And then if you want to add a little layer of challenge and complexity to this, let's do a breath practice. This is from the Kundalini tradition. And that is that when you're turning toward your left, that's when you inhale. And when you turn toward your right, that's when you exhale. Try to do it in and out of your nose if you can, but that's like I said, more and more layers of complexity. Inhale left, exhale right, inhale left, and it's kind of done quickly. So it's a quicker breath. It's not deep breathing. It's kind of the opposite of that. And you have to turn with it. Keep your elbows up so they're not dragging down. They're held at armpit height. Inhale left, exhale right. Inhale left, exhale right. Out, in and out of the nose if possible. Stay with it. Wouldn't have been a bad idea. Sorry, I didn't think about to have the block squeezing between your legs, but you can imagine that. It's going to stabilize your hips, stabilize your legs. Imagine your block is between your thighs, and you can squeeze that. Keep at it. Couple more. Finish it up. Exhale completely, and let's relax our arms down. Go slow though. Go slow with your arms so you can really feel the letting go in your body. Super slow. Excellent. Let's take a pause. Let our breath, because that was just kind of really using the cardio function here with that kind of quick breathing. So let your body adjust to that, kind of evening it out, all out in your body and your breath. And when you're ready, arms lift up. And we're going to kick a leg forward. We're going to stay right in the framework of the chair and kick a straight leg forward, lifting up, kicking a straight leg forward. Inhale lifts up, exhale is the kick. I think we covered the joints pretty well. We're going to do it some more when we stand up. Last one on each foot. And let's bring our hands right back to the shoulders. The distance between your legs is up to you. You might go wider, you might keep them right where they are, but we're going to do some crunch work where we come to up and down. You have to bring yourself up and down, crisscrossing. So that covers not only the front abdominal wall, but the side, the obliques as well. This is at the pace that works best for you. So yours could be completely different from what you're seeing me do. Find the pace that works well for you and your breathing. Now, if you want to add a little more intensity to that, really want to strengthen the abdominal wall, instead of keeping your feet to the floor, lift the feet up. So now you're bringing your knee up to meet that elbow. You could continue with just the way you were doing it if that's more accessible for you. Find your breath. I'll bet it's heartier. You could be breathing out of your mouth. You could be using, if you remember the Ujjayi breath, that's that sound of the ocean deep in the throat. That's a good breath practice right now if that's what's showing up for you, because your body just finds those things, right? It's like, well, this is what we need. That's what we're going to do. Last time on each touch. And when we come out of that, let's go slow again. Release your arms very slowly. And let's open and close the hands again, coming back into the fingers, maybe your wrists. Super slow. Deepen the breath. Let it, just noticing how you're adjusting, your body's adjusting. The breath is slowing down. To get out of the chair and to come into our standing postures today, I'll let you choose how you want to do that. Hands to the waist, and you just boot yourself out of the chair. That's one way. My favorite way is to kind of rock myself up. So however you're choosing to do it, bring yourself up and out of the chair, focus, stay balanced, feel that connection of Gaia holding you up. Every time you feel yourself landing on the floor, you can feel that connection and stability of the ground. Let's all meet standing up now. Let's find our mountain pose. And I am going to ask us to get our block out now and put that between your shins. Squeezing the block between your shins. Make sure your feet are straight. You don't have one foot in front of the other. You got them nice and straight. Pull the belly in. That's going to help you lift your chest bone up. Palms face forward, just like we were when we were sitting down. Find that breath in and out. Squeeze the block. Eyes are closed here. Just wait it out till you've done a few breaths and you're just centering yourself, squeezing the block, feeling how that is in your body. Just what's it feel like when you're squeezing the block? What's the musculature that you're using? And be real curious about, don't limit it to, I can feel it in my legs. Can you feel it in your buttocks? Just notice it where you feel it. Be as thorough about that as you can. Eyes are closed so that you can really use your imagination here to be very inclusive of the whole experience. Now stay with me. Let's just really focus our breath as a full body experience of breathing. You want your whole body to experience this. It's not just respiratory function. We've gone way beyond that. Let's try that ascending the breath. Let the breath start at the soles of the feet. It makes its way up through the legs and up through the trunk of the body, all the way to the crown of the head, and descends. Let's have that breath descend through the back side of your body. Our focus is what we see in the mirror, isn't it? That's how we identify ourselves. That's our body. It's what we see in the mirror. It's what we can. What about the felt experience now through the back side of your body? So we're much more inclusive. It's much more loving and accepting of our wholeness. And then as you breathe, just let me float out there this concept that I use so often. Trust the body to enlighten the soul. Trust the body to enlighten the soul. Exhale completely. Bring palms together up and overhead as you open your eyes. Exhale as you bow to your heart. Inhale back up and exhale, a big sweeping action. Let's get the block under the chair. And now, as we maybe step a little bit forward, glide yourself down to a forward fold. Soften the knees quite a bit. Try to look under the chair now. Hang like a rag doll. Look down and under, drawing your upper body as close to your legs as you can. Just think of it. It's a forward fold. And what would a fold be? The fold has a crease. That crease is the hinge at the hips. And we're folding our upper body to meet our lower body. Hang like a rag doll now. Deepen that breath. Knees can be quite bent for some people. Whatever gives you access to feel the fold of your body. Beautiful. Let's soften the knees quite a bit. Jump your hands to your thighs. And when you come back upright, let's start to move our feet closer together. So now our feet, I'm turning a little bit. You don't have to do it, but just so you know, squeezing those legs together. We're in kind of a chair-like squat. Means it's shaped like a chair. And now I want you to start circling your knees. So we're getting into the knee joints. I'm committed to joints today. So we're making sure we're moving in circular direction. Knees, and where else can you feel it? Ankles, yep. Into your ankles and into your knees. Stay with the same direction for a bit. You don't need to look at the screen. Get yourself centered and balanced. Feel your way through your feet. And then change the direction of that circular movement. Make sure you're still steady with the breath. You haven't held your breath. You might have to take a big huff and puff here because you held the breath by mistake. Stay with it. Ankles and knees. Beautiful. Let's come back up nice and easy. Keep your legs together, just a balance challenge. Inhale up, palms come together. Big inhale, exhale, bow to your heart. Inhale back up, exhale, big sweeping action. Position yourself by the chair in a way that serves you. We're going to just use it to do some work in the toes. So this is toes pose. So we're going to just lift up one heel at a time. And your chair can be held in any way that serves you. Maybe a little part of the backrest, maybe a hand on the seat of the chair, but it allows you to just pedal your feet one heel at a time, lifts way high. I like to say this is when we put on our Barbie feet, the shape of these feet. Remember the Barbie doll feet? Just like that. Now see if you can get both heels up at the same time. Your heels are up and you're onto the toes. This is a balance challenge. You can bring yourself upright as much as you're able. You can continue to hold the chair because that's still a pretty good balance, or not. Maybe your hands are in a prayer position. I've got my hands on my thighs. Let's find a full breath cycle, at least one, maybe two. Excellent. Drop your heels. Let's bring palms to the chair seat now. Start walking back. We can do a down dog from here. Start walking back. Hands are pretty close together so that your arms feel like they're really close to the side of your head, really close to your ears. Try to straighten out your legs as you continue to just sort of stretch yourself into it. Get your chin to pull in towards your throat. So you're not trying to look at your hands. You're not trying to look toward the chair. You're keeping yourself very neutral the way you're holding your head and neck. Stretch it out. Pull the buttocks back. Wait it out till your breath starts to really regulate itself. It's a nice, steady rhythm. And if you can't find that rhythm when you're in this pose, stand up, slowly bring yourself back to standing and wait it out right there. So we can find ourselves back into a nice, steady rhythm of breath. We're going to walk toward the chair and then bend your knees so that now you can drop your chin towards your chest, round through the back body intentionally. Feel that feel that cat pose show up. So one vertebrae at a time brings you up. Finally, your head lifts, you're back to an upright position. Take your time now, catch up with your breath. Think mountain pose now. Be strong the way you're holding yourself, lengthening through the spine. We're going to use the chair seat to support some hip opening. So foot of the chair comes onto their foot, comes to the chair seat. How's that? And however you like to do it, whatever gives you the steadiness. I seem to always choose the leg that's near the backrest. That's how I bring, but you might find it better the other way. So it doesn't matter. Just get one foot to the chair seat and then hold the chair in any way you want to. Let's try pulsing our hips forward and back. So our pelvis is pushing forward and then back. As far forward as you can, and then there's a stop sign, and as far back as you can until you feel that stop sign back there. You can have both hands on the chair. That's going to be a different experience of it, and it might feel really good. You could have both hands on the chair as you're moving forward and back, or not. Check in with your breath. That's probably the best way to figure out what's going to work best for me. How can I breathe nice and easy? Now let's meet with the pull back. See if you can, maybe you have to lift your foot up a little bit, get your heel down and your toes pop up so your leg is straight. Heel down, toes up. It might mean you have to step back with that back leg a little bit. So give yourself the adjustment so that your leg can straighten out and it still has the full support of the chair seat. Now here's where we're going to try to fold again. We're going to fold our chest and belly toward that extended leg. Don't let your head try to race to this and sort of all of a sudden you just droop your head down, because that seems like that's the goal. It's more a fold, so your head, neck, and spine stay in alignment. You don't pull your head out of alignment, and you feel the stretch of that. Let's deepen the breath. Let's get a hold in the chair. You're going to bring your sole of your foot back to the chair seat. You might need to take a hop with that foot that's on the floor so you can bring yourself upright. Bent knee on the chair and then the straight leg grounded to the floor. Let's wean ourselves from the use of the chair and bring both hands to the thigh that's up there. Lift up through your spine, right through the crown of your head. You can stay right here, hands on the thigh. Maybe you've got a hand on the chair just for good measure. Awesome. Our next challenge, if we choose to do it, is going to just lift those palms up into sort of a back bend. This is a variation of the warrior one. Pulling those hands back and away from our knee. Chest is lifted. There's a back bend in there. Deepen the breath. Look up. Let your face face the ceiling if that works for your body and your neck. Steady. Feel Gaia. Feel that connection to the earth, pulling you, holding you, steadying you. Both hands come down. We're going to come back to neutral now and bring both feet to the floor. I want you to shake that out. Shake your limbs. Shake it out. Any adjustments your body seems to need, shake it out. And let's try the other foot now. So we're bringing our foot to the chair seat. Square your hips. I don't know if I mentioned that on our first go around, but you want your hips square. So if you're tempted to turn toward the screen, don't do it. Turn towards your chair. Hips are square here, and this is where we pulse. We're just moving our pelvis forward and back, as far forward as we can and as far back as we can, while we keep the sole of the foot down on the chair seat. Pelvis is moving forward and back. Deepen your breath and just notice in your body what would feel kind of upright and stronger. You know, you've already identified so much about that in today's practice. So hold yourself in a way that feels consistent with what we've worked on. Remember to exhale completely. Boy, you can forget that so quick, right? We're just steadying ourselves, and all of a sudden the breath is not very deep at all. So go back to that full breath that includes a release of the exhalation all the way. Let's try that big stretch now. So you're going to we're meeting with the extended leg. The heel is down, the toe pops up, straightening out that leg, that foot's on the chair, that leg, and bringing yourself into a fold, letting your chest bone fold itself towards your extended leg. Keep your head, neck, and spine in alignment. And how far away from the chair you are might have changed. So that foot on the floor, you might have to kind of start over and take a little hop back with that leg and find your position now into this forward fold. Head, neck, and spine are in alignment. The folding is not about making your face come closer to your leg. It's about your chest bone coming closer to your leg. Deepen the breath. Pulling the pelvis back a little bit. I know there's more sensation there. If you spread your toes on that foot that's up there, more sensation even for that too. And let's come back up. Sole of the foot back down, knee is bent again. Bring yourself upright. Think mountain pose. You're bringing yourself upright. Both hands on the thigh if you can manage. Pull the belly in, long through the spine, strong through the whole body. You could stay right here. You could keep a hand on the chair the whole time, or you could try the introduction now on this side to the warrior one, where our palms face each other, and we introduce possible back bend as we pull the hands back. Let the chest cavity raise up. You feel in your sternum lift up. Maybe you can face toward the ceiling as you breathe all the way through that breath in and out. All the way in, all the way out. Feet to the ground. Feel that connection to the gravity pull of Gaia. Slowly, carefully, mindfully, we bring ourselves out and get a hold of the chair. Both feet to the floor now, and we're going to shake it out. Try lifting your heels and bouncing yourself down. Come up onto your toes and bounce yourself down. If you can do it without the chair and let your whole body get that whole shake, let's do that. And finally, a downward dog, bringing your hands to the chair seat. Let's stretch it all out. Keep your hands close together so you feel your arms are right alongside your ears. You're going to straighten your legs as best you can. Stretch, pull the buttocks back away from the chair. Tuck your chin towards your throat. Head, neck, spine in alignment. Just reminding you, can you feel it now? Your body is being held by your legs. It's being held by the strength of your body. It is not being held by the chair. The chair is just there to steady you, helps you lengthen through your arms. But boy, what's holding you up? Your legs. And start walking toward the chair. Again, round the back body, soften the knees. We're going to come up one vertebrae at a time. You know how to do it. Keep your chin down, keep your head down. And so slowly, slowly, you bring yourself upright. Head is the last to come up. And we take a pause here. We're going to wait. Find your mountain pose. When you come upright, just strike that pose. So all of this is so intentional in your body. Your mind-body connection is just intentional. Staying true to this right alignment. Exhale completely. And then it's time for Shavasana. So we're going to come to our maybe two chairs. I know some of you use two chairs at this point. You get a chair so you can prop your legs up. But it's time now to find your way into your version of final relaxation, Shavasana. Take your time, be very mindful. This isn't a time to start chit-chatting or, tend to business in the locality, in your household. Stay with it. Keep your mind, body focused on what we're doing here in this practice. Don't leave. And what I mean by not leaving is, the mind takes off and does other things. So stay with it. Keep your mind, body connected. Keep yourself devoted to your practice. Just a few more minutes. It's just a few more minutes. And it's kind of, in many people's opinion, the best few minutes of the practice. As soon as you're ready to close your eyes, I encourage you to do that. Helps you get within the privacy of your own experience. Even if you're the only one in the room, it's just you in that room. There's something about it. Closing your eyes gets it a more intimate experience. And just feel the breath as it starts to simmer down. Maybe at this juncture, you're entirely trusting your body to do the breathing. You're not overriding it with some of those breath practices that we've done today. You're not overriding it. You're just allowing the breath to be, helping you simmer down and feel the body settling down into a final time of relaxation, but you're never taking your awareness away from the breath. You're just loving that breath all the way through its inhale and its exhale. Just honoring how the breath supports you all the time. It's just astonishing, isn't it? This life force pulsing through you each and every moment and second of our existence. Soften your mouth, relax your facial muscles. Go to that part of your body where you often hold tension. Bring it some love, no judgment. Soften and relax. Feel the support of the chair or feel the support of that surface beneath you. So if you've stretched out on the floor or onto a couch, the surface beneath you is holding you, and you're going to surrender to that. And deepen the breath. You just notice the deepening of the breath, perhaps. And if you find it useful, as I do, to use a mantra so your mind won't wander, it's just a way of encouraging that alert and focused mind that yoga invites us to experience every time we do this practice. Alert and focused mind. So we'll use little techniques, little ways that we can keep the mind focused. And a mantra works really well for that. Just notice the breath moving through your body. You feel the breath in the body. This is our way of bringing the mind home to the body. Got a beautiful poem today from Go In and In by Dana Falls. The name of the poem is One, O-N-E, One. Within us lie the answers to our deepest questions and the antidote for all our fears. The divine is not an abstraction. It's as clear and intimate as a heartbeat or a whisper. We are penetrated, suffused, caressed, cell by cell and synapse by synapse, with the same love that set the galaxies to spinning. No matter how identified we've become with mind and body, we can release the thoughts that blind us to the truth. Seek the still point where the words you and I lose meaning, where we meet and merge as one. This is all about resting, breathing, and being. Just a few more minutes. I'm the timekeeper. You can trust that you can just let go and relax. Let's take a big breath in through the nose. Exhale it out of your mouth like a sigh. Ah. Do a couple breaths like that. Think of it as a cleansing breath. It's a transitional breath. It's going to bring you back to your active part of your life today and back into your routine. So just adjusting and transitioning now with that big cleansing. Oh, it's such a lovely breath, isn't it? We've all come to love that breath. Ah. We need to come forward now in our chair so feet are back to the floor, grounding ourselves, and we're no longer relying on the backrest. So we come into right alignment with the spine. Feel the balance of your pelvis right to left and front to back. Feel the strength and the intentionality of this posture. Let's sync up our breath now as we close. Bring all of us together in the same action as we lift up. Palms come together overhead for our inhale. Exhale, bow to the heart. Inhale, lift back up, and exhale, let's share this beautiful, loving energy with our communities. Palms, once again, come to the prayer position. We bow to ourselves, we bow to each other. Namaste, my friends, and thank you for joining me.